Hey guys, welcome back to the Mal and Joe Show. Today we are here with the fabulous Melanie Fowler, who owns Sort Space, and she's going to tell us a little bit about spring cleaning. And today we are going to have her show us some tips on what to do and how you even tackle that.
Yes, we thought that this would be a perfect segment because we are officially in spring and everyone wants to get their house ready for spring, ready for summer, and start purging all the stuff that we don't need anymore.
Yes.
So my biggest complaint or challenge that I have with spring cleaning is I never know where to start. And so we asked Melanie here to kind of give us some guidelines and some rules and tips and tricks on how to get started and to tackle your spring cleaning of your home.
Yes, thank you all so much for having me.
It's a pleasure.
This is exciting. Yeah, spring cleaning is definitely a popular thing right now. Everyone wants to get organized, whether you're buying or selling a house. Purging is definitely on people's minds, and especially with the Marie Kondo movement, you've got a lot of people who are just wanting to declutter.
Right.
So we'll start with just a few things that are really important before you start a project. You really want to start in one place.
Okay.
So
like a bedroom or a kitchen.
Right, whatever.
There's different methods, right?
Yes, so whatever space is sort of like the biggest headache for you, you kind of might want to tackle.
How do you decide what is the biggest headache?
You start with one thing at a time. I mean, also just having, guests that come into your home, spaces that are the most, easily used or seen.
Right.
You might want to tackle that first. A pantry, a bedroom closet. You really don't want to try to tackle it all at once because that will become exhausting, and then you really won't even start the project because you'll be so anxious. So start with something. It can even be small, like a junk drawer in your kitchen that you really just want organized. So keep in mind that you want to start off with just one space at a time and work from there.
That's good to know.
Another thing that's really important is to allow yourself time. So for instance, like a garage project is going to take a little bit longer than something like your kitchen pantry. So giving yourself time and allotted time, not just I need to do this all in one day, because that's not going to happen. So you need to make sure that you allot time for yourself. And
I feel like you almost have to rewire your brain to say, okay, forget about the checklist. We're going to start with this room. We're going to have a long checklist, right?
Yes, exactly.
It stresses you
It's
out.
stressing me out already.
When you finally figure out the space that you want to start with, I always use the 2-year rule of thumb. So if you, for instance, in your bedroom closet, if you haven't used something in 2 years, it's got to go. That's sort of the rule of thumb. I'm a little bit more hard on myself, so I do a year because that's just how I do it. I love to have order and simplicity constantly, especially with kids. I mean, you have to really, yes. And so the 2-year rule of thumb is generally good for everyone. If you haven't worn it in 2 years or you haven't used it, it really should go. And most of the time you won't miss it. So that's always a good rule of thumb I tell people is how often do you use this and how long has it been since you've used it. So the rule of thumb is 2 years, and then we really want to start thinking about removing the items and taking inventory. So with the space, everything comes out, okay? You take everything out of your space, and the process is organizing and putting things back in to a place where everything is accessible and just easily visible, okay? So you're going to want to take inventory of what belongs here. For instance, in a pantry, if you have a lot of household items that could be better used or organized in a closet, you might want to think about putting those items there versus your pantry. So it gives you a little bit more space for items that are specific to like your family and your kitchen and your pantry.
Kind of like when you see people and they have their entire stack of mail sitting in their
right,
pantry.
Right. So you just want to take inventory. I mean, I've been through.
Is that you?
My last relationship, yes, there was a problem there with the other party putting mail in the pantry, and it would just drive me insane.
Yes.
Oh, I think you're calling yourself
It
out.
would just it would drive me up the wall.
Yes, I've seen a lot of things just with clients and trying to get organized. It's sort of assessing what you have and realizing the spots where you could put it that aren't necessarily, because you don't want it to be overwhelming.
Right.
So taking inventory of the actual items that you want to go back into your space.
Fun.
Yes.
Fun.
I like that.
Yes. And looking for wasted space. So there's a difference between looking for wasted space and just looking for space in general. I like my clients to really think of it as an 80% max all the time. So if you're looking to, if you look at the 80%, that means that you still have space,
Okay.
which really opens it up. If you have 100% full max and you are full, well, how do I want to put this? If you are organizing and wanting your house to be open and more spacious, having sort of an 80% outlook on maxing out your items within your house will really help the design and the flow. So
Almost like feng shui.
yeah, so if you are looking at spaces and thinking, I need to fill this and I need it at 100%, everything needs to, then that's where you start to not have space.
So you're saying
it feels
something like
cluttered.
this countertop where someone were to put, lots of trinkets and
Right.
odds and ends just to
Right.
fill the space.
Just to fill the space.
Yeah.
We have to get out of that mode and realize that, that you are, you're wanting to live in your space, but you're also wanting it to be peaceful,
Right.
to bring you joy, you're coming home. I mean, most of us want to be, happy and peaceful in our own home. And so if there's a lot of clutter, it just doesn't happen. So
Simplicity.
yes. So I always say 80%.
Now I see why you do the 1 year rule.
Yes. So I always say 80%, you kind of want to be at the max at 80% so that you still
Okay.
have a little bit of wiggle room to work.
I like that.
So, my big question to you is, how do you have fun with it?
Well, there are a lot of ways to have fun with organizing. I think that when you realize that it's a unique process, it's an individual process. It's not something that you have to go onto Pinterest and think I must
I
do
feel
this.
like that's what every
Right.
single American
There are a lot
person
of different options.
resorts to that.
Yes, and they're great. I mean, photos are great, but it's always good to realize, what kind of space you have and what's good for your family. I mean, if you have kids, it's going to look very different from, from a bachelor who's living, alone
Right.
and wanting things a little bit more simple. So I think there's fun. I mean, the most fun is at the end when you get to see.
Yes.
When you get to see it in a different way, and you get to see all of the exciting ways
end
that you
result.
can save
Yeah.
space, and the end result is really fun. So I think once you start with a space and you are actively just pursuing it and working on it and successful, it helps you to kind of you get your momentum to move on to the next space.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
I
Yeah,
like
the
that.
end goal is the happy spot.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just think, end goal.
Yes, it's also fun to organize with color. So if you are talking about your office or your kids' rooms and you're wanting them to be a little bit
Okay.
more organized, you can color code it to where they have certain bins that they put all of their unused or items
I
that they
love
want
color
to go in
coding.
there.
You have to do that for
Yes.
Lila.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and it's visibly pleasing. It just really enhances your efforts to organize when you have sort of a color coding option if
Yeah.
you want. And you can
Very
certainly
cool.
do that in your pantry as well.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very
I
cool.
like that. So my biggest problem is that when I get on an organizing spree, all of a sudden I put things away and I organize them and then I never find them again.
Right. Yes. And that's a good point, Mallory. I think that some of the ways to alleviate that and just kind of restructure the way things are visible is to also have transparent items. So if you're looking at bins and you have some acrylic or transparent items, it's easily visible. You can access it. It's a little bit. Labeling is also good. If you do have bins that aren't transparent, you definitely need some kind of label system, and you can find that via Amazon,
anywhere, pretty much.
Container Store. Everyone has labels, and so that's also very good, in a pantry if you can't find items, is to have your uniform, storage with labels. But I also love working with the transparent acrylics because I think they're really pleasing to the eye, and they really give you that, the look that you want. That Instagram look that you're looking for. So we're going to start with my favorite items that I like to do, really just with any household organizational project. The first thing are the velvet, these are called the huggable hangers, and you can get these at the Container Store. This is the best way for instant gratification because all of your hangers are uniform. So you need to think to yourself, the plastic and the wire hangers need to go. So this is what you need to start with. They actually have great wood ones as well, but keeping everything very uniform it will actually add space to your project and will make it look very Instagram worthy. The second item that I really love when I'm doing a project are things that are transparent, such as acrylics. So this is one of my favorite items. This is actually just a acrylic magazine slipcase. And it's great for books and it's great for magazines in any part of your house. But this is also a great item for your closet because it's a way where you can actually stack all you ladies with all of your clutches and your bags. I actually personally, like in my closet, I have about 4 of these stacked vertically, and I put all of my items in here so that you can easily see it and access it, and it also looks pretty, Joseph.
Oh, I love it.
My third favorite item are for the drawers, mainly. And this can be in your kitchen, this can be in your pantry, this can be in your bedroom. This is a really nice drawer liner from the Container Store. And what you want to do before you purchase is you want to make sure that you size it correctly for your drawer. But this is a great way. I mean, I store pencils and papers and things like that in my junk drawer. And also it's a great way to store this in your linen closet as well for things that you want to stack, and you can still easily see everything, but it keeps things more in an orderly fashion. So my fourth favorite item is also transparent and acrylic, and it is the dividing turntable, aka Lazy Susan. So there's a reason why this item has not gone out of style. This is the most versatile item that I use in all of my houses that I work for with my clients. It can virtually be used anywhere in your house. You can organize your spices with it. You can do cleaning supplies. It's also just a great way to store kitchen items like oil and vinegars. And so this is definitely a staple that you're going to want to have in your house. So the fifth item that I have that I love are they're just your storage bins, and they come in many different colors, shapes, sizes. I actually prefer the nude colors. I want it to be simple. I want it to be lasting. And so I really like this weaved look. And if you have a few of these in different sizes, you can really have that polished look, whether it's something that you want for your pantry. Again, you can add your label here, and it's just a great way to add uniform and also to store some of your bulk items too.
We have had such a wonderful time with you today, and I just love your top 5 items that you brought just to kind of show and help people out and how they can get organized.
Yes.
So now tell us about Sort Space.
Okay.
What you offer, how it works. We'd love to know more.
So Sort Space is pretty all-encompassing as far as organization goes. We do garages, we do pantries, we really do any type of room in your house. We also help with packing and selling a home, also with staging. So there's a lot of different areas that that Sort Space can work with you on. I do have many clients that they all have different needs. So I work with some that really want to be a part of the process, and so you work with them, and they're able to
learn.
Yeah,
I like that. Learn.
Absolutely, because there's always a time when things get a little frazzled and disorganized, and you need just like little touch-ups here and there. So I love doing that, especially before a big event, or if you're going to have family over for the holidays. I love just doing little spurts of organization wherever you need it. As far as tackling big projects, it really just depends on the client. So, like I said, I have some clients that really want to work with me side by side and look through the process, and then I have others. I just worked with one last week where she literally left and didn't come back until we unveiled everything.
That would be me. I would be like, here's my budget. Here's what I want you to do.
Yes, and I can do that.
And just do it, and there we go.
Yes, exactly. So it really is, every client is different. So it really depends on what their needs are. And I love to come in and consult and really dig into what their needs are before I really start a project.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, people can find you on...
Yes, sortspace.dfw.com. Just a new website, and you can actually book online too.
The consultation.
Yes.
That's awesome.
We can find you again, sortspacedfw.com.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you,
been such a
Mallory.
pleasure. Yes, absolutely.
This was fun.
It
I
was
know.
fun.
We
I'm
can't wait to
definitely
see
going to use
something.
these tips and tricks, and I'm going to go buy one of those lacy Susans.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. See you
Have a
next
good
time.
day.
'Cause I'm on top of the world. Hey!